We are glad you are with us.
1010
As you
XL.
just
We now
heard,
join regular programming.
there you go. You just turned to regular programming. Love to hear that. As you just heard here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM, the Bulls Bulldogs are a district champion, a 52-18 winner tonight over Bishop Kenny. So Bulls wins the district. Other finals tonight. Every game has gone final. Most started at 6:30 this evening. Boy, what a scoreboard. Creekside, 26-0 over Atlantic Coast. Mandarin, 43-0 over Sandalwood. I believe that's a district title for Mandarin. How about Ribault? Maybe a little bit of an upset here. Ribault, 18-7 over Baldwin. It was Terry Parker, 24-14 over Inglewood. Raines is a district champion, 40-8 over Jackson. Episcopal, 34-12 over Wolfson. And Gibby, the game of the night, First Coast Fletcher, district championship on the line. First Coast in overtime. Congratulations to the Buccaneers and Marty Lee as they are district champions tonight in what was the game of the evening.
Yeah, and you could hear in the voice of Marty Lee last week when he joined us last Friday that he was going to have something for Seatric and Fletcher, and we knew this was going to be a back-and-forth game, a close game. We even said this on the pregame earlier tonight. Fletcher and First Coast, book it. It's going down to the wire, and it was, and it did, 28-27 in overtime.
Well, the crazy thing about this game was First Coast was up 21-0, and Fletcher came all the way back to make it 21-21, and then ultimately First Coast wins it in overtime 28-27.
Yeah, I mean, it's an incredible game. We knew that Seatric and Marty Lee are both very good friends, both coached together for a while. And so, Marty Lee's been at this thing a long time, and we knew going over there to First Coast, the Bucks were going to be ready for that one. Fletcher's had a really good year. I mean, Seatric has really held this thing together. Quarterback injury early in the season. Fletcher able to come up and just short of a district championship, but congratulations to First Coast and Marty Lee for getting it done.
We talked to Victoria's head coaches under the Thursday/Friday night lights. It's what we do here on 1010XL, and a lot of Duval County schools got their games in tonight. Let's begin with the Victoria's head coaches with Toby Bullock of Mandarin. They were winners tonight over Sandalwood. Mandarin, I believe that is a district championship for the Mandarin Mustangs. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you very much, guys.
Coach, Sandalwood Mandarin's always a big game. Sandalwood certainly having a little bit of a down year, but boy, you guys put it all together offensively and defensively in a dominating performance tonight.
The defense was on fire tonight. I think they ended up getting a fumble recovery and 3 interceptions, and gave us a few short fields offensively to work with, and we were able to fortunately take advantage of it, but it was led by our defense.
Coach Bullock, I always appreciate your time. Sandalwood's defense was pretty good coming into this game. What was your offense able to do so well tonight against them?
Well, we were able to execute. We're led by a phenomenal young man in Tremel Jones, and he's going to Florida State. Everybody knows he's going to Florida State, and everybody knows about him and Jamie. But probably what he does better than anything, he's got a great arm. He's not selfish. If he sees that it's supposed to be a run and it's where it needs to be, he's going to run the football. He's not going to force it into people. He's not going to do things. He's like having a coach on the field, and that's always a coach's dream. And he leads the offense. He does what he's supposed to do, and I can't ask for anything. A couple weeks ago we had a moment, and I said, we were running the ball really well, and I said, what do you see? He goes, run the ball. And you don't get many quarterbacks that, do things like that. And he's just a wonderful kid.
Toby Bullock of Mandarin, winners tonight over Sandalwood. Coach, you got a huge game next week. I want to get to that in a moment. But a district title tonight. You and I talked about this last week on the postgame show. For you in particular, because you have to deal with all those Orlando teams, you need as many home playoff games as you can get. This absolutely puts in concrete that you'll have at least one home playoff game. That's got to be huge for you guys moving forward.
It is, and we're pretty sure it's going to be versus Apopka. Having Apopka come to us, what a great game that's going to be. It's exciting. They're such a big name in high school sports in Florida, and to be able to get them at home and get them over there on Greenland Road, hopefully will give us the advantage. We hope it will be. I'm sure our student section will be ready to go. I know the boys will be ready to go, and hopefully it'll lead to us going to a second round.
Coach, where have you seen the most improvement for your team this year?
Probably in our front seven on defense. We started off, kind of slow. Fletcher was able to do some really good things to us in the first half. Game one, Bowles is amazing. They were able to do some good points, and they made some adjustments second half where we were able to come back and win that. We had a really low moment versus Lake Mary. Lake Mary, ran the ball all over us, and then offense didn't help the situation by, turning the ball over 5 times. But, they've come alive, and hopefully they got a huge test next week. The front seven does against Bartram Trail and what they do. They're a power run football team. They do it really well, and they'll be ready to go. And so we'll see. Hopefully they've made the improvements in the jump that we hope that they have.
Coach, as we wrap up, knowing you, I think I already know the answer to this, but I'll ask you anyway. Depending on if playoff seeding matters or not, playing Bartram Trail next week, how do you approach that game with the playoffs on the horizon?
We're going to win.
Yeah. I kind of knew that, but I figured I'd ask you anyway. So that's a huge game, right? An enormous game between two really good teams.
Yeah, Mandarin High School's coming to win that football game. Plain and simple.
Well, best of luck, Mandarin and Bartram Trail, the regular season finale next week. Toby Bullock, the head coach of Mandarin, a district champion tonight after their win over Sandalwood. Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you so much, guys. +2.
There you go, Mandarin Gibby, a district champion. And again, unlike a lot of other schools in the area, it's vital for them to win the district to avoid having to go to Orlando as long as possible.
Absolutely. I mean, you want to, like Coach just said, we want those games on Greenland Road, as many as we can get. And, the 386 on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures telling us Jamie French with 2 touchdowns tonight. The Alabama 5-star just does it every single week for Mandarin.
And that's only a 3-team district. Mandarin wins it. Atlantic Coast was decent this year. They had a tough game tonight, but they were decent. First-year head coach, obviously, there with Step Durham.
Yep.
Tough year for Sandalwood.
Yes.
You got to figure out what's going on there because a team like Sandalwood should not have the record that they do.
Well, Sandalwood's defense was actually pretty solid. I mean, I know that Mandarin just put 43 on them, but they do that to almost everybody they play because Mandarin's got a loaded roster offensively and a pretty good defense too as well. But going back to Sandalwood's offense really, really struggled this year. I think they scored only a handful of touchdowns in the regular season. I think they've got one more to go. But, Sandalwood has really struggled. I'm looking at this right now. The offense, maybe, I think 7 touchdowns all season, and they were shut out tonight. So Sandalwood's offense really struggled.
More victorious head coaches rolling in. Congratulations to Rains. They were a winner tonight over Jackson. Donovan Maslin is the head coach of Rains. He joins us here under the Thursday Night Lights. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Coach, that's a big win, certainly for you guys, a rivalry game against a good Jackson team, and you guys put it all together tonight, and it looks like had very little trouble.
Yeah. We want to, we really worked on Rains football this past week in preparation for Jackson. We had to, clean some things up from last week against Atlantic Coast, giving up 22 unanswered points in the second half against them. So we really want to come out and finish 4 quarters and just dominate the game from the beginning. And I think we came out, executed the game plan. The kids bought into what we wanted to do this week, and we was able to come out with the win.
Donovan Maslin of Rains, that is a district championship for you, Coach. And look, in that region, and you and I have talked about this, when you have Bowles and Riverside and you guys and Bishop Kenny, Ed White as well, there's a lot of good teams in that region. You have guaranteed yourself at least one home playoff game. That's got to be vital for you guys moving forward.
Definitely. Anytime you can get a playoff game at home is definitely big. Being at home in front of your home crowd is going to be special. The kids worked hard. The coaches have coached hard, and, we made sacrifices to get to where we're at. And we know, what's at stake, what, our opponents that we may face in the playoffs, that they're great opponents. There's some great talents, some great teams here in Jacksonville, and they've been showing it all week. Bowles is battle-tested with the opponents that they've played this season. Riverside has a great team offensively and defensively. They can move the ball offensively. So it's just great talent within Jacksonville that, we're just going to come out, compete, and whoever makes it down south to play, so be it.
Coach, always great to have you on after a victory. I've not asked you about your quarterback this year, Tyron Randolph. Tell us about him.
Hey, man, he's a kid that has bought in, like one of the most bought-in kids that we have on our program. We thought that, just getting through the spring with him at quarterback and then somebody may come in and, want to take the lead, but he really bought into the position. He went over the summertime and in the off season to get some QB training with QB1 training, and it showed. His confidence level is high. His decision making is good. He's gonna make great decisions and get the ball out of his hands and run when he needs to. So just to see the maturation within a season has been great. He's a true leader. He's a warrior. He's a competitor. So whenever we're down, we can always lean to him to make a play with his legs or, make a play through the air. And he's just a great athlete that, has flown under the radar, but, quietly is doing a great job. He's, over 1,300 yards passing, also over 500 yards rushing. So it's just great for him to see the results of, what he's worked hard for.
Final moments with Donovan Maslin of Raines, district champions tonight after a win over Jackson. Coach, next week, West Side to close out your regular season. You guys have not lost to a team in the listening area this year. Your only loss was to Daytona Beach Mainland. I guess you can pick us up on Daytona on a good day, but you have teams we cover you have not lost. That's got to be a badge of honor going into your regular season finale to try to close that out next week.
Yeah, definitely. We always talked about, getting back to those 10-win seasons. We was finally able to get a 10-game season this year. Play great football and, get back to that winning tradition year in and year out of where we make great runs into the playoffs. And, ultimately our goal is to, play for a state title. So, we're just going to take it one game at a time, just upholding the tradition and just playing great team football year round.
Hey, Coach, you guys have upheld that tradition. 8-1, you went 5-0 at home. How do you feel about this team as you wind down the regular season?
Hey, this team is all about putting it inside the rectangle. We could say what we want to say about records, trash talk or what may have you, but, it's all about, what can be done inside that rectangle when the whistle blows. And, the kids have bought into that. They understand the never say die mentality. So we know they're going to fight to the end, tooth and nail, with some grit, with some dog, with some fight. And, that's what you want in the program. We put them through things this summer, as I've said, weeks before, so that when the time presents itself and opportunity presents itself to take advantage of it, they're in shape and they understand what it is that needs to get done. So I'm excited for what they will be able to do moving forward. We're not done. We're not complacent. We're just hungry for, the next win.
Donovan Maslin of Raines, district champions tonight after their win over Jackson. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Big win for Raines, which absolutely ensures at least one game in the graveyard. And look, we've been doing a lot of number crunching on the FHSAA website. If the playoffs began tonight, Raines is the number one seed in that region. And now that they're a district champion and the number one seed, that would mean somebody would need to go into the graveyard and beat them in the first three rounds. They would have home field essentially for the first three rounds of the playoffs, and that's certainly a tough place to go into and win, Gibby, in the postseason.
Well, nobody's done it this year. Raines went 5-0 in the regular season at home. Like you said, a badge of honor, having not lost to anybody here in the Jacksonville area.
Most St. Johns County teams are in action tomorrow. Creekside played a Duval County team tonight in Atlantic Coast. Creekside played. They were a winner over Atlantic Coast. Let's welcome in our friend Sean McIntyre of Creekside, winners tonight over Atlantic Coast. Coach, congratulations.
Hey, thanks, Hacker. Appreciate it, man. Congrats to Coach Maslin and Raines. And yeah, I'm glad we don't have to go to the graveyard in the playoffs. Hopefully we're in the playoffs. We got another playoff game next week for us. We've been in playoff mode for a few weeks right now, but just congrats to him and congrats to all the guys who got it done. Coach Bullock at Mandarin tonight, district champs. Congrats to those guys. Hats off.
Coach, as I get older, I rely on the younger people here at the station to tell me about decimal points and rankings and all that. So I kind of have an idea where you guys are. I mean, obviously it was a big win tonight, but where you guys are in the seeding process, you would be in if the playoffs began tonight. Have you guys been keeping track on that? How do you approach that?
Yeah, we kind of, after our loss to Barton Trail, we kind of told the kids at night, hey, listen, the playoffs start Monday. And so last week, our game, we felt like it was a playoff game against Fleming Island. Barely. Thank gosh we pulled out that one. Oof. And then tonight we had playoff mentality, and then that carries on to next week against Ponte Vedra. And so just, that's kind of the situation we're in. I told the kids it's a privilege and an honor to have meaningful games late in the season. And, every team has to make a decision late in the season. Are you still building and climbing, or are you ready to turn your gear in? And our kids play really hard. Our kids are excited about the opportunity to go play another meaningful game next week in November against Ponte Vedra.
Coach McIntyre, always great to have you on. Tell us who stood out tonight against Atlantic Coast for you.
We did a lot of really good things. Defensively, we felt like we could make them earn it down the field, and they may, we didn't know if they could earn it for multiple plays in a row. So we kept the ball in front of us, didn't give up any big plays. Caden Vivian McKine, are one of our corners, Cole Long, defensive end, really had some nice plays for us tonight. And then, on offense, Sean Ashenfelder did a great job, threw a touchdown to Eros Toffer. Harrison Garrido had a few nice runs for us. So, and Atlantic Coast's defense is stout. Coach Durham's doing a great job. Those kids play hard. Hats off to them for sure. They're definitely trending in the right direction. But just proud of the way our offense responded. They're really good up front. Cam Hardy, I'm glad he's graduating. He's a really good football player. And he had a strip sack on us tonight, but our offense just kept cooking, kept plugging away, and need to finish a few more drives. But, just proud of the way they responded on a series-by-series, play-by-play basis.
You have an interesting scenario, you and your staff, because you win tonight. Tomorrow night, Ponte Vedra is in a gigantic game against Nice. You have the night off, essentially, before Ponte Vedra next week. Do you go to that game, Coach? Do you do a little scouting? As you said, that game for you guys against Ponte Vedra, A, it's going to be one of the games of the week in the area. It's going to be a crazy good game. And B, it will be essentially a playoff game for you guys. So how do you approach the next 24 hours?
Yeah, no doubt. I'm a lucky man, Hacker. My beautiful wife, I asked her if she wanted to go on a date Friday to go to watch Ponte Vedra play Nice. She is an angel, man. She is moving her line up in purgatory. I can tell you that. Coaches' wives are saints on earth, man. And so my wife of 11 years, she's going to accompany me to Ponte Vedra Nice tomorrow night to watch them play. It'll be a great football game. The rivalry game is going to be cranking for that game tomorrow night. So I'm very lucky and very fortunate that my family supports this endeavor. We're going to go check it out, make sure that we have our kids and give them the best opportunity to put their best foot forward next week against Ponte Vedra.
Are you of the belief, Coach, and again, this goes back to number crunching, and I'm sure you're smarter in this than I am. Are you of the belief that you need to win next week? Is that where you guys are at?
Yeah, I think that's where we're at. We're eighth in the region right now. Nobody knows the formula, so nobody has any idea. If we were to lose, we would need help, and that's not the situation we want to be in. We would need this team to beat that team, and we would need help, I think. So we just want to control our own destiny, and that's all we've ever asked for, and that's all we want. So we're going to get ready to go, start on Monday, and be ready to play on Friday.
Sean McIntyre of Creekside. I'll go ahead and tell you, Coach, be expecting a call from me on Tuesday. I'll get you on the high school spotlight. That'll be a big one next week in St. Johns County. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys. I hope you have a great weekend. Florida-Georgia weekend, high school football tomorrow night, district championships tomorrow night. Exciting time to be football coach, football fan, football player, all the fun.
Sean McIntyre, the head coach of Creekside. Their playoffs began, like you said, last week, beating Fleming Island, now beating Atlantic Coast. Well, those are two good teams, Fleming Island and Atlantic Coast. And so next week, Ponte Vedra, Creekside's trying to get in. Now their reward is probably going to be Gainesville-Buchholz in round one. But you got to be in it to win it, man. And Creekside looks like they might need the one next week to get in.
Yeah, and you got to love his message to the players just weeks ago saying, hey, the playoffs start on Monday, like he said, because they could not afford to lose last week against Fleming Island. That was a game they had to have. They did get it, 49-48, an epic game last week for Creekside to pull that one out by 1 point. And then, look, they took care of business tonight against Atlantic Coast, and now they got Ponte Vedra next week.
I just heard from Marty Lee of First Coast. He's going to come up in about 10 minutes or so. What a win for the Buccaneers tonight to win the district over Fletcher. Before we get there, let's talk to a guy that's in a very similar situation to that of Creekside, and that's my friend Marcus Wells at Episcopal. They got a big win, and I do mean a big win tonight over Wolfson for their postseason hopes. Coach Wells joins us under the Thursday night lights this week. Coach, congratulations.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Coach, you knew what was at stake going into tonight, certainly, and boy, your kids performed beautifully, knocking out my alma mater 34-12. You must be very, very pleased.
We are. We've been struggling with the 4-game losing streak, and we just had to find a way. We needed this win, and just to get our mojo back, to get a lot of confidence amongst our guys. We're still banged up with guys being injured, but you're right. We found a way tonight, and against a tough Wilson team, an improved Wilson team, and so it means a lot for our kids in our program.
Coach Wells, great to have you on. You mentioned the 4-game losing streak. What did you see from your team tonight to be able to break that losing streak?
You know what? We played with heart and emotion in the 4 losses. We were in most of those games at some point. But then tonight, I think we just kept fighting. We've been together for quite some time, and guys just believed, man, and just fought. And finally we had some things go our way, and a couple kids just make some big-time plays at the right moments. And so I feel really good about that. And we persevered, and for us to do that and against a district team, a district opponent, means the world for our program.
Marcus Wells of Episcopal, winners tonight over Wolfson. Coach, a win like that, obviously you know where you are in the standings, and we were talking earlier to Donovan Maslin of Rains. What a region that's going to be, right? With Rains, Riverside, Ed White more than likely, Bowles, Bishop Kenny more than likely. You guys are now in very good shape. You want to talk about local teams going at it in the postseason. That appears to be what we have coming up on the horizon.
Absolutely loaded. I mean, all those programs are such great history, such great coaches, such great traditions. And so for us just to be in the conversation, it means a lot for us. If we make it in, it'll be our 6th year in a row making the playoffs, which says a lot for our program and our team. And we know that if we get in, we're going to have our work cut out for us. But what a great time to be in Jacksonville, to be in not just our region, but all the regions in this city, and to have just really great high school football being played is it's pretty special to be a part of.
Coach, am I correct that Sean Wolf has 9 sacks for you this year?
Yeah, he does, and he's been playing on a bum ankle for about two and a half weeks now. So for him to have 9, and he's only a sophomore, says a lot about him. But the scary part is he can only get better, and so we're looking for him to improve. But yeah, and we got other guys too, man, and our guys fight, and I can't say enough about how we fought tonight.
You know, Coach, final question. You mentioned the streak you have of making the playoffs. That's a big deal, right, at Episcopal. I mean, you got put into a district with Bowles and Bishop Kenny. I mean, that it is what it is, right? Mm-hmm. But you've been able to persevere last year, get into the postseason. You're in great shape again to get in to the postseason. As you're building that Episcopal program up, these playoff appearances year after year after year, winning becomes the standard there, correct?
It does. It becomes the expectation. Like, we expect to get in the playoffs, and we expect to perform well. We know, like I said, playing Rains or Riverside or Ed White or even Bowles again, like, our work's going to be cut out for us for sure, but to establish that tradition and to be there, and you never know what can happen. And so we're looking forward to the opportunity again. Our kids are excited. They were excited tonight, man, and to see the smiles on their faces, it means a lot to our coaches and our staff.
Marcus Wells of Episcopal, winners tonight over Wolfson, now in very good shape to make another postseason run. Coach, congratulations.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate the time. Have a good weekend.
Thank you, Coach. Big win for Episcopal. And that's really what tonight's all about, Gibby. You look at the final scores, all right, almost every game tonight had some sort of playoff implications. We've talked to almost over half the winning coaches tonight, by the way. We're going to get Marty Lee up. We're going to chase down Coach Ram at Reball. Hopefully we'll be able to get Matthew Toblin. Check that. We will get Matthew Toblin, for a district championship for Bowles as he's wrapping things up out there at the Bowles School. But every game tonight was either a district championship game or a game that a team needed to keep their postseason hopes alive.
Yeah, it's a beautiful time of year. You crown district champions. You look forward to the playoffs. And, it is a big math problem trying to figure out who's going to go where and what seeds are going to be what. But our coach used to always tell us in high school, and any coach would tell you this, but I just remember ours saying, just win, and it all works itself out.
Yeah, the circle of life just keeps spinning. I remember there was a time where I was explaining social media to the likes of Baloo and Frangie, 10, 15 years ago. And now these decimal points and whatnot, I got Denmark explaining it to me with the high school. I don't understand half of it. He just tells me what to put in the computer, hit enter, and it comes out with a certain formula. And it's interesting because it updates itself every week. Now, we won't know how tonight and tomorrow's results impact going forward, but the high school playoffs are announced a week from Sunday.
Yeah.
We're 10 days away from knowing the pairings, and we're 2 weeks from tomorrow night until round number 1 of the state playoffs.
I wonder how similar this decimal system is to like the BCS.
That's exactly what I was thinking, right? The BCS. It's all analytics and formulas and all kinds of stuff, but we love it. That's why we're here. And we're also here. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist brings it to you. The Friday Night Lights. We are presented by Duck Duck Rooter, Plumbing, Septic Service, and Air Conditioning. Casey Dobson in for Dylan Denmark tonight. He is Andrew Gibson. I'm the hacker, Ryan Green. We got a few more victorious head coaches. We will chase down Marty Lee. We will chase down Matthew Toblin. We'll hope to get Coach Ram as well, as we're glad you're with us. Thursday Night Lights here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
When it comes to the Jags, he's oh so good.
Oh, yes.
His name is John Osher.
Oh, snap.
Wednesdays from 10 to noon on Jaguars Today. Brought to you by Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Do you have a VA loan? In this housing market, homeowners with VA loans have access to a ton of instant cash. Hey, it's Prosser here. Do you need cash to pay off credit cards and other high-interest loans? Does a check for 80 or 90 grand sound about right now? Well, Loan Pronto is helping veterans every day get the money they need with a quick and easy zero-cost cash-out refi with zero closing costs. With a VA loan, it's really cool because you can access up to 100% of your home's value. Use that money to pay off credit cards, home equity lines, car loans, consolidate all your payments into one check per month, and close in 2 weeks. Most homeowners who do this end up cutting their overall monthly payments by $800. Loan Pronto's all-digital process makes it fast and easy. They're doing loans with super low APRs, and they love working with veterans. Call now to see what your options are. Call Loan Pronto at 999-1508. That's 904-999-1508. Or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist is holding their annual Bumps and Bruises clinics every Saturday morning through early November. These injury evaluations are absolutely free and open to every school and athletic program. So see us this Saturday morning at 3 North Florida locations from 9 to 10. The Brooks Center for Sports Therapy inside the YMCA. Preferred Physical Therapy, Fleming Island. And at Atlas Physical Therapy in St. Johns County.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
1010XL is a proud sponsor of Operation New Uniform's 10th Annual Heroes Gala, featuring retired Army Lieutenant Colonel and former Congressman Alan West. Saturday, December 2nd at Sawgrass Marriott. Operation New Uniform is a free, life-changing program that helped me, David Trenholm, successfully transition from a 20-year career in the United States Navy to the business world. Join 1010XL and sponsor Operation New Uniform's 10th Annual Heroes Gala today. Go to onuvets.org. That's onuvets.org today.
Here's your 1010XL community calendar of local events and nonprofit groups helping people here at home.
Your high school girls can join the Duval Tides girls rugby team. No tryouts and no experience necessary. Learn everything you need to know at Jack's HS Girls Rugby on Facebook and Instagram.
The Knights of Columbus 5535 annual golf tournament is November 6th at Glen Kernan Country Club. To find out how to play or sponsor, call 249-5535.
You can play golf with Josh Scobie and other former Jaguars players and celebrities while raising money for the First Tee. November 13th at Deerwood Country Club's First Tee Open.
to walk in the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society Light the Night Walk on November 16th at UNF. Register at lightthenight.org.
Your love can give pets a purpose. To adopt a loving animal from the Jacksonville Humane Society, call 725-8766.
You can find out how to share your community event at 1010XL.com.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Are you afraid to buy your next car? Well, have no fear because Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet offer Beaver's not-so-scary pricing. There's no monsters popping up in your rearview mirror with Beaver's peace of mind warranties. Check out thousands of vehicles for sale online and get answers to all your questions with no tricks and all the treats. I promise our team will take away all those fears. Just come see Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville for Beaver's not-so-scary pricing.
More than qualified to handle your roof. Call J&M and we'll show you the proof. Check with our customers and they all say only one way to go, the J&M way.
Hurricane season is now through late October. If your home sustains damage, don't wait. Call us, J&M Roofing, storm restoration specialists. J&M Roofing, under the umbrella. Call 904-337-0509.
License number CCC 1331951.
When were the St. Johns River jetties built? The answer next.
There's always a good reason to compare homeowners' insurance rates. You may be paying too much. Protect your home with a Southern Oak insurance policy today.
Our family protecting yours, Southern Oak Insurance.
Congress approved plans to build the jetties in 1879, and construction was from 1880 to 1885.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. You know, I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation, light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous, don't be scared. Go to carlsondentalgroup.com. That's carlsondentalgroup.com for all of your dental needs.
From touchdowns to TV, he knows the SEC. Chris Doering joins Dan and Jeff on the drill. Tuesday morning, brought to you by the personal injury attorneys of Farah and Farah on 1010XL. 1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars, protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville, the Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Friday Night Lights, brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning on 1010XL.
I know football.
Now, the Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Coaches Corner on 1010XL.
What a win tonight for First Coast High School and head coach Marty Lee. 28-27 winners over Fletcher, and First Coast, for the first time in a while now, is hoisting a district championship. With that, let's welcome in Coach Lee to 1010XL. Coach, congratulations.
Boy, how about them Bucks there, baby?
Coach, I mean, look, you've been a part of huge wins at First Coast. Where does this rank? This has got to be the biggest one in quite some time.
It's definitely one of the biggest in the last, 5 or 6 years. We've, from 08 to 15, we would catch me out. And we've been on some hard times, but boy, just to see the excitement of the fans and the players, man, it was good to have that feeling back. We had lost to Fletcher 8 straight times. And, and Jessica could coach with me, and I have a lot of respect and love for him. And, man, it was just a great high school football game. And I tell you this right here, hey, win in your end, and that's what we had to do. We didn't win. We were not going to make it. We had a tough schedule. I don't know how they do all those dots and dashes and all that, but I know we're district champs, and once you get in, anything can happen. Look at the World Series.
That's a great point, Gebby. To that point, Fletcher was probably going to be in regardless. Now Fletcher's got some company, and Fletcher's going to be traveling to Orlando or Tampa, where First Coast is going to have one of the Orlando or Tampa teams coming up to Jacksonville. So that's a huge deal, right, Coach, to be able to have that home field advantage?
Oh, it's a major deal, because you don't have to do the bus, you don't have to leave school, you don't have to do the travel arrangement. You get to stay at home, you're comfortable doing it. We had a very good week of practice. and we put ourselves with a schedule that we thought would help us because, the teams that we've lost to are Riverside and Rains and Williston and Bishop Kenny, all playoff teams. But for some reason, it seemed like it hurt us a little bit, but we took care of the games that we needed to take care of. And, boy, I tell you, we jumped out 21-zip and give them credit, man. They broke a big play. They got back in the ball game. They got a reflection pass for an interception. We knew the 2-point play they were going to run. The quarterback still got in. It goes to overtime. They score on 4th down. It's a controversy. Did he fumble? Did he get a cross? They gave it to him. We blocked the PAT. We get on there. We score. Austin Harris scores. And First Coast, who never has a kicker, we kick the PAT, and it's a party going on the north side. You can tell I'm excited for our kids, but it was awesome. It was a great high school football game.
Can you tell if Marty Lee's fired up? That is awesome. Coach, take us through that blocked extra point. That's a huge part in the game.
Yeah, well, we got one early in the ball game, and then they had to go for 2. And so that was there, and our guy got right up there, and it made him change his angle a little bit, and he kicked it to the left, and he missed. And so that gave us a life, knowing that if we scored, and Rodney had the flu. He's throwing up all day. I told him, I said, you're going to be Jordan Ness. You're going to lead us to the playoffs. And so he was mad. He ran the ball, threw the ball. But Austin Harris had an outstanding game. And we saw some things on tape that we could take advantage of. And he got in. And, boy, I tell you, man, we got a little young kicker, a soccer player. And Linda got out there. And, Brian Gilbert said, Coach, I thought you were going to ice the kicker. I said, he doesn't know football. You can't ice somebody that doesn't know football. So we got him organized.
Head Coach Marty Lee of First Coast. Coach, I don't think I'm speaking out of turn here. Last year, there was some legitimate thought among you and your family that might be it for you, right? And then you sat down with them and you figured some things out, and you decided to come back here in 2023, and now you once again lead First Coast to a district championship. I mean, how satisfying is it that you decide to come back and this is the ultimate result?
Man, it just means the world. My wife Natalie is a wonderful woman, and I heard Sean talking about it. Man, without these women, you just can't do what we do. They put up with a lot, and we sit down and we talked about it. And when they extended the drop in the state of Florida, we both felt that this was the right thing to do. My principal came back. I knew we had a good team coming back. I hired a good staff, and was just excited, I'm just happy for the boys. It's been 28 years that I've been coaching at First Coast, and God has blessed me to be there that long, and the longevity speaks for itself. But it's just so exciting to see these young men finally get back to where we once were. We've won, 5 of our last 6 games, and the one game we lost by a point that ranked 6 with, less than a minute to go in the ball game. And so we feel like we're on the right track. We know that we'll probably most likely play the loser of the Tampa Tech Armwood game. I'm going to head down to Plant tomorrow to see my nephew play at Plant High School, but I'm going to also be paying attention to what's going on there. And we go to Main Street next week, and that guy does a great job over there. And, I started my career at Andrew Jackson, and there's a lot of people that think maybe next week might be my last public school game, but I don't know. I take it a year at a time. I love it. You can tell by my enthusiasm. I still love the game, and the old man still got a little tricks up his sleeve, and guys like you make me love this sport very much.
Well, Coach, I certainly appreciate it. It was a great win for you, a great football game. 2 good friends as the head coaches with Seatric and you. You get it done in overtime. You're a district champion. Congratulations, Coach. Go celebrate.
Hey, I do appreciate it, but I got to say this one thing. I think last week, if I remember correctly, me and you talked about that I would come on this show, that me and you got to go eat some wings now.
That's exactly right. Yes, indeed.
So I think I know where you do your 5th quarter before the game on Sunday, you might just see the old man slide in there, the old Raging Cajun coming in there.
That would be
All right,
perfect, Coach.
Hey, guys, again, I thank you guys for what you do. You know, I know y'all hear it a lot, but y'all truly mean a lot to these kids. And God bless y'all.
Marty Lee of First Coast. What a guy. District champions. We're objective, right? Except for me when it comes to Wolfson. And I'm good friends with Ciatric. I've had Ciatric on for years. I don't know if you know this, Gibby. I pushed him out of bounds.
Yes.
When I was a senior at Wolfson. I didn't let him get 353 yards rushing on us. We held him to 352 because I pushed him out of bounds, and they ultimately won that game by 60. So I wasn't rooting against Ciatric, but you kind of were rooting for Marty, or at least I was, because of what First Coast was at one point. They had some things that happened over there that no one on the football team or coaching staff could control. The team went south for those reasons. But to work their way back up and to ultimately have another district title tonight, you feel good for that program and for people that have been there through it all.
Yeah, and Marty is such a terrific guy. You just hear his enthusiasm through the phone, and you know he's fired up about that. You know, it's just great to see a guy who's such a great guy. He's a really good coach, too. I mean, he's been there for 28 years, as you heard him say. And like you said, you brought it up. You know, he was kind of on the fence whether or not he was going to keep coaching and being the head coach at First Coast, and you know, gets it done tonight in a nail-biter, 28-27 in overtime against Fletcher.
Yeah, no question about it. Let's talk to another man. They got a big win tonight. Coach Ram at Ribault. Winners tonight over Baldwin. Coach Ram joins us under the Friday Night Lights. Coach, congratulations.
Hey, man, we still breathing, man. It's been a rough patch, but, hey, our guys, man, we fought through some injuries, man, but, hey, we still fighting. We had it was a great win for us tonight. Great win, man. We needed it. Like I say, we had a rough patch, man. I'm still running with a young group of guys, but they're not quitting. That's what I love about them. We still fighting. We gonna prepare for Riverside and see can we shock the city.
Coach, that was a big win. You keep your postseason hopes alive. Baldwin is a good football team, and that's a couple of times you've done that this year. I mean, look, you're not going to sneak up on anybody. People know how good Ribault is, but you have put it really together a couple of times in great performances, tonight being one of them.
Yeah. We had a good one last week against Ed White. Our maturity kicked in. You know, we dropped it against Ed White 28-20. But we fixed some things. We came back. Great win against Baldwin, man. We going to get up. Enjoy the weekend, Georgia, Florida, and we're going to get up and get ready for Riverside.
Hey, Coach Ram, you mentioned you had a tough stretch leading into this game tonight. How did you guys turn it around to win this game this evening?
Actually, we went in. We watched probably more focus on more film. We put a lot of work in film, man. I got some of my guys back from injuries, a couple more. Jordan Matthews back, and you know he's getting this win back up. So we went back to the basics. That's basically what we did.
Coach, we don't know the decimal points and the analytics necessarily. I'm not smart enough to know about all that stuff, but I am smart enough to know that a win tonight probably keeps you guys alive. And if you do beat Riverside, who knows what could happen. Do you have any idea if you win next week, what else would need to happen for you guys to make it into the postseason?
Actually, that ranking that we're in, where they take the 8, but like last week, one win against Ed White could have put us in there because everybody up under us, everybody, lost from 6 all the way down.
Mm-hmm.
So it changes so much, so it's kind of hard to know where you'll fall at. Because, it's still a lot of teams that's ranked that got 4 wins. So we're going to keep pushing. We don't know how we're going to fall. Only thing we know is we're going to get up and make a run at Riverside. And I like our chances. I don't care about what their record is. I like our chances of the kind of football we're playing right now.
Well, you're going in there with a lot of confidence, and the most important thing is you have a game the first Friday night in the month of November that means something. And there's a lot of teams that won't be able to say that. So that is certainly a lot of motivation for you guys going into the regular season finale.
Yeah, that's coming off this win and going into Riverside, man. I know we're going to be ready. I know we're going to be ready. We confidence is up. These kids been playing. So, hey, we gonna lay it out and see how it rolls.
Coach, I believe your quarterback, Timothy Cole. Tell me about the season that he's had.
Timothy Cole is having a great season. He's probably about 40 to 50 yards away from throwing 1,500 yards this year. He had a great game tonight. He's striking, hitting everything in the numbers. So he have a good game, we rolling. That's just the way it goes.
Well, Coach, congratulations. A big win for Ribault tonight over Baldwin, 18-7. Ribault has another big one next week as they take on Riverside. Coach Ram, congratulations, Coach.
Hey, it's one thing I got to say. I got to congratulate my main man, Marty Lee, man. I got to congratulate him. I got to congratulate Maz at Reigns. Hey, man, I'm proud of those guys. But, hey, we up next. We coming. Ribault coming.
Thank you, Coach. Have a great weekend.
All right, take care.
Coach Ram and Marty Lee, we just had two really fired-up head coaches.
You got to love it. And, that's the coaching community right there. He was talking about Donovan Maslin as well, Coach Marty Lee. All these coaches know each other. Many of them have known each other for years and years and years and, have coached and in some instances played for each other, that kind of thing. So it's really cool to see that close-knit community.
We have talked to basically every coach that won tonight. We're still trying to chase down Matt Toblin. We'll get him. I'll send out a text. I'll send out the bat signal to Matt Toblin here in a second. I got to congratulate the Bulls head coach on a district championship. We'll start looking at tomorrow night's games. St. Johns County, Clay County, huge games tomorrow night. And then before we get out of here, I want to take a quick look at the rankings and how it would look if the playoffs began today. You can start deciphering some things. Again, the official brackets come out in 10 days, 1 week from this Sunday. With Casey Dobson and Andrew Gibson, the hacker Ryan Green with you. More to do. It is the Thursday Night Lights postgame show. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist brings it to you. We're also presented by Duck Duck Rooter, plumbing, septic service, and air conditioning right here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
We're juiced up. We have the right mentality with the right energy.
That ball is picked off by Foye Aluakin.
Foye's a baller. He's a leader, great teammate.
Foye Aluakin brought back the deflected interception for the score.
He's one of the best linebackers I've ever played with.
The Jags take over on down at their own 6-yard line.
Whenever it's crunch time and we need to make a play, we're going to make it for our team to get it win.
Next up, Pittsburgh.
Gritty, not pretty. That's what I'm saying. We just play together.
Jaguars, Steelers, Sunday at 1 on the home of the Jaguars, 1010XL. Home of the Jaguars, WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach, WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach. Connect with 1010XL.
On the line, online, with your friends. Now everyone's exchanging ideas.
Find 1010XL on your social channels.
Are spooky plumbing problems haunting your home this Halloween? Don't be scared. Call Duck Duck Rooter, your ghost-busting plumbing heroes.
Hi there, I'm Brian, your friendly plumber. Is your toilet making ghostly groans? Or is your sink dripping like a vampire's fangs?
Don't let plumbing problems give you the heebie-jeebies. Call Duck Duck Rooter at 904-862-6769 and chase those spooky issues away.
Duck Duck Rooter, because even plumbing nightmares deserve a happy ending. Quacktastic service guaranteed.
Don't wait for tomorrow. Make the days count. Gatorade has carbs to fuel and electrolytes to help replenish, so you can count on the proven formula. Nothing beats Gatorade.
Find it at your local Winn-Dixie. For the athletes who give everything, nothing beats Gatorade. The studied, tested, and proven fuel for the world's greatest athletes. Gatorade, proudly supporting high school sports on the First Coast.
Meet Bruce.
Hey there.
He's a busy soccer dad who's trying hard to learn the game.
Go for the end zone.
Whoops. Luckily, other things come easy, like banking with Chase. On a tip from his banker, he set up AutoSave in the Chase mobile app. So what are you saving for, Bruce?
Father-daughter soccer camp.
Smart bankers, convenient tools, one bank with the power of both. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
AutoSave requires a Chase checking and savings account. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. J.P. Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC.
Mike Dempsey for Dandy Foods, and happy to report that Dandy has brand new goodies out there, only available at select gate locations. 4 delicious new lunch items to choose from. A hot roast beef and provolone, an Italian Cabo that'll melt in your mouth, spicy buffalo chicken, or a big old juicy 100% beef cheeseburger. They're all served on fresh ciabatta bread, baked locally and delivered daily, just as you'd expect from the folks that bring you fresh, never frozen goodness.
Got that hometown flavor creeping up on you. Yeah.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys locksmith service.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mitchell Yass, and I am no longer the most unknown world-renowned pain elimination specialist thanks to you and my 1010XL radio show, The Pain-Free Living Hour. You can re-listen to all 14 episodes on my YouTube channel, Dr. Mitchell Yass, and have your pain eliminated with treatment in my office or online over Zoom. Book your appointment today, 904-906-YASS or at livewithoutpains.com.
Mark Watson for Hardball Creative. Free promo tip. Put your logo on golf balls and give them to clients who are bad golfers. More hacks equals more exposure. Trust me, it's science. HardballCreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Are you an experienced automotive technician and tired of working for employers who put profit over people? Then come to Action Transmission on Merrill Road and get trained on how to diagnose and rebuild today's complex transmissions. See how we're different. Get traction on your career and come to Action.
Equal opportunity employer.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here. Football season's in full throttle, and you still haven't tried Underdog Fantasy's Pick'em game yet? Underdog just extended a $500 new sign-up match, so now's the time. Here's how the game works. You pick between 2 to 5 players, select whether they'll go higher or lower on one of their stats, then do what you usually spend game day doing, watching football. You can win up to 20 times your money in a single game by going 5 for 5. It's a fantasy game, but you can win real cash. So head to Underdog Fantasy's easy-to-use mobile app or UnderdogFantasy.com. Sign up with promo code 1010XL, and right now you'll get your first deposit matched up to $500. Remember, that's Underdog Fantasy. Use promo code 1010XL. Underdog now matching sign-up deposits up to $500. That offer won't last forever. So use promo code 1010XL. You do have to be 18 or older and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ncbgambling.org.
Prepare for the return of Valor Bare Knuckle 2, the true bare knuckle boxing platform, as they step back into the limelight for an exciting night of combat sports. Founded by legendary MMA fighter Ken Shamrock, this Friday night at 7 at UNF Arena. Get your tickets today at ValorBK.com or at the UNF Arena box office. Valor Bare Knuckle 2, this Friday, live at UNF Arena.
Discover the difference that local expertise makes at First Coast Lighting and Fans. Visit their showroom at the Avenues and browse high-quality products to match your desire for elegance, quality, and uniqueness at First Coast Lighting and Fans.
Mia O'Brien.
Don't I know you from somewhere?
On XL Primetime from noon to 3, on Helmets and Heels Tuesday nights.
I swear to you, I know her.
And you can follow me on the 1010XL video and social media channels.
I would know her voice anywhere.
All Things Mia is driven by Arlington Toyota.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Gatorade is the #1 sports drink and the proven fuel of high school athletes. Nothing beats Gatorade. Proud sponsors of the High School Half Hour.
With Andrew Gibson, the hacker Ryan Green with you, 1010XL, 92.5 FM. All right, Gibby. Duval County homeschools were the teams that played tonight because they need the security downtown for the cocktail party festivities for Florida, Georgia. St. Johns County, a majority of them. Clay County, majority of them. Nassau County, a majority of them. All play tomorrow, and there are some gigantic games tomorrow. Let's begin St. Augustine and Clay. Clay, a good football team, but clearly St. Augustine, to this point, is one of, if not the best teams in Northeast Florida.
You know, I had both Tony Smith and Marty Paulman on the pregame tonight at the same time. I figured they're in the same booth. Bowles and Bishop Kenny, let's have them on at the same time. And the last question that I asked those guys, Hack, tonight in the pregame was, tell me the best team that you've seen this year, because they've done play-by-play every week for 10 weeks on these schools that they've played. And both of them said it's probably got to be St. Augustine. Bowles played St. Augustine, I think week 1 that was.
Yeah.
And St. Augustine, to a man, and those guys have called games every single week. They've seen about every team in Jacksonville, and both of them said St. Augustine. I tend to agree with them. They've got a shot to go 8-0 tomorrow night. They're just loaded. I mean, they're quarterback, wide receivers, running back. Their defense is good. St. Augustine's really good.
Yeah, St. Augustine is really good. Clay is a decent team, but St. Augustine is absolutely loaded. Ed White, who's going to be in the playoffs, travels down to South Florida to take on the Benjamin Buccaneers, and this is a team in Benjamin. Again, I don't know much about them being in South Florida other than they're 7-1, and they've beaten some really good teams. So we talk in that region about Riverside and Rains and Bowles, certainly. Very good barometer for Ed White to kind of see where they're at as they enter the postseason in that region.
Yeah, I think Benjamin has a running back that's committed to Georgia, if that tells you anything.
That's all you need to know.
And look, if you're a team, any team in South Florida that's gone 7-1, pretty good.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. So, and it's cool for Ed White, right? Because in that region, you're going to play in the playoffs against local teams, but they get to go on a bus. They might have left today. I don't know. It's like a 5-6 hour ride down there. But that's a team bonding deal, if you will. It's cool for those kids to experience a road trip like that. Did not have this one as a big game when the year started, but it's a district championship game tomorrow night between Trinity Christian and Providence, because if Providence win earlier in the year over University Christian, Providence can't beat both of them, right? They can't beat University and Trinity in the same year. Boy, if they do that, whew. But what a game it should be tomorrow night between Trinity and Providence.
Yeah, I was looking back. Justin Barney and those guys have always a good write-up on their site. And they was talking about this series, Trinity and Providence, and there's been one close game between them back in 2010. They played a 42-31 3-overtime classic. And, hey, we might see something like that again tomorrow. We'll see.
Yeah, Providence is a good team. They have probably the biggest upset of the year in the area when they knocked off University Christian. Good old-fashioned bragging rights on the line in Nassau County tomorrow night, Yulee and West Nassau. Yulee, this is a game they need. They are comfortably in the postseason, but you want to keep your rating as high as you can in that region to avoid Bradford as long as possible. So Yulee and West Nassau, bragging rights on the line in Nassau County.
Yeah, and we talked about this rivalry in the pregame. That's one that they get after it. I mean, these two schools, no love lost between Yulee and West Nassau in a Nassau County game. And, Yulee last week, I think a 33-0 shutout against Episcopal. Nico Smith, their quarterback, I believe, had 4 touchdown passes last week. 6-2 record. They've gone 4-1 on the road this year, so Kyle Doherty and those guys doing a good job.
Two of the biggest public school programs in the area, one in Clay County, one in St. Johns County, as Oakleaf takes on Bartram Trail. Oakleaf is better than their record would indicate. Bartram Trail is also better than their record would indicate. This is going to be a good game between two good teams, and it's one Bartram really needs.
Yeah, I mean, these are two teams that have just played the gauntlet. They've played the District of Doom, Death, whatever we want to call it, and they've kind of been banged up a little bit through that district. And you look at a Bears team that really hasn't lost to a team with a loss this season. Think about that for a second. Bartram has played an unbelievable schedule. They've played, think about this. They've played Daytona Beach Mainland, Buchholz, IMG, and St. Augustine. None of those schools have lost.
Yeah. No, it's a lot of teams. It's funny. We talk about that with a lot of teams. We talk about that with Bartram, with St. Aug, with Bowles. A lot of our teams in our area have scheduled ridiculous regular seasons, I guess in the hopes that prepares you for postseason play.
Well, I think Middleburg ran through a stretch where they played like 4 straight games to start the year where the opponents they played against were like 17-1.
Yeah. So and Middleburg's a team, by the way, that is also looking at a postseason berth themselves. Nice and Ponte Vedra, a district championship on the line for Ponte Vedra. If they win, if Nice wins, they can, I think, clinch a tie for a division or for a district championship. St. Johns County bragging rights as well. Should be a good one tomorrow night between Nice and Ponte Vedra.
The last 2 games in this series have been decided by 8 points combined. Last year, the game, Ponte Vedra won it 35-34. The year before, Nice won 14-7. So this is a very good rivalry. Look, Ponte Vedra, aside from St. Augustine, hottest team in Jacksonville. I mean, they haven't lost since August. and they've won 7 straight, trying to make it 8 tomorrow.
Yeah, Ponte Vedra is a very good team. Another very good team is Bradford County Tornadoes. This is an interesting one. District title game tomorrow night. Bradford County 8-0. Palatka, maybe the quietest 7-1 team in the area. Combined records of 15-1 with Palatka and Bradford County, with the winner claiming a district title tomorrow night.
That Bradford defense, can they score on them? Can they do anything? Nobody's really been able to do much against that Bradford defense. Jamie Rogers, their head coach, we had him on last week, and we've had him on every week because they've won 8 in a row. But I asked him last week, when's the last time you had a defense like this? And he said, last year.
Yeah.
I mean, they've had really good defenses. But no, in all seriousness, that defense is ridiculous. Palatka's got their work cut out for them.
A lot of
Big Red.
Yeah, there you go. A lot of games tomorrow night, certainly, between really good teams with district championships on the line. All right, we'll come back. We'll give you a Gatorade Player of the Week. We'll take a brief look ahead at what the playoffs may look like in some of these regions, and we'll put a wrap on what has been a very fast-moving Thursday Night Lights here. It's been brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialist, and we're also presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic Service, and Air Conditioning. One segment to go. 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
What a throw and catch! Stretching the field is a good thing. Having a stretcher on the field is not.
Boy, this is bad news.
Listen for the personal injury attorneys Farah and Farah Injury Update.
Jacksonville.
On 1010XL.
1010XL is a proud sponsor of Operation Uniform's 10th Annual Heroes Gala, featuring retired Army Lieutenant Colonel and former Congressman Alan West. Saturday, December 2nd at Sawgrass Marriott. Operation Uniform is a free, life-changing program that helped me, David Trenholm, successfully transition from a 20-year career in the United States Navy to the business world. Join 1010XL and sponsor Operation Uniform's 10th Annual Heroes Gala today. Go to onuvets.org. That's onuvets.org today.
Get maximum football with Pre-Game Friday.
Isn't this exciting now?
Make Friday feel like the weekend.
Come on, son!
Brought to you by Treen Finders Homes. Homes built to fit your lifestyle. And MyBookie.
Now go out and catch the ball for a change.
On 1010XL.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist is holding their annual Bumps and Bruises clinics every Saturday morning through early November. These injury evaluations are absolutely free and open to every school and athletic program. So see us this Saturday morning at 3 North Florida locations from 9 to 10. The Brooks Center for Sports Therapy inside the YMCA. Preferred Physical Therapy, Fleming Island. And at Atlas Physical Therapy in St. Johns County.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
It's your go-to for golf talk. The Edwin Watts Golf Hour.
All we need to do is develop the rest of your game. Then you'll be unstoppable, son.
Get local updates, gear reviews, and all things golf talk. Saturday mornings at 10 on 1010XL.
Pastor Joby Martin here with the Church of 1122. We are honored once again to partner with the Boys and Girls Club of Northeast Florida for the Great Futures Weekend, which includes golf and Mackenzie's 5K run at the esteemed TPC Stadium course. Help us continue to honor Mackenzie Wilson's legacy. That's Friday and Saturday, November 17th and 18th. You can golf or you can run. It'll be a great time. Additional info at MackenzieRun.org. Proceeds go to the Boys and Girls Clubs of Northeast Florida.
It's Gators and Dogs.
The Georgia-Florida game.
Listen all week for Florida-Georgia Moments. Brought to you by
Island Oaks RV Resort and Woody's Barbecue. Georgia and Florida.
Do you know what is going to happen here tonight?
On 1010XL.
Hacker here, and look, football season is in full swing, and no game day setup is complete without the Sausage Dude sausage. I'm a sausage guy, and the Sausage Dude sausage is the best sausage I've ever had. Try their 4 terrific flavors, including Polish, Hungarian, beer bratwurst with jalapeno, and my personal favorite, the Italian today, by picking them up at any Publix in the Jacksonville area. Football and sausage, it's a winning combination. Go get the Sausage Dude sausage at any Publix in the Jacksonville area right now.
There's no better time to be a Jags fan, especially when you're a MyGate Rewards member. Gate is giving you the chance to meet the man, Trevor Lawrence. You and 3 of your friends can meet Trevor Lawrence in person at the stadium. Entering is easy. With the MyGate Rewards Gatorade Club, for every 5 Gatorade products you purchase, you'll be entered for a chance to win. See store for details. Gate, your hometown convenience store.
Man, I'm excited for RV City at Florida, Georgia.
But RV Heaven is just down the road, Island Oaks RV Resort.
That's off exit 333, right? Past McClenny?
Yep.
Will my kids like it?
They'll love it. Tons of fall events are coming, like Hocus Pocus Night and Spooky Island Halloween, plus live music and karaoke. You can stay in a cabin right on the premises. It's way cheaper and better than a hotel.
Where can I book our stay?
Visit islandoaksrvresort.com. That's islandoaksrvresort.com.
Hey, bourbon lovers, Tim Pearson here, founder of Chattanooga Whiskey, the only Tennessee high malt. Did you know that Chattanooga Whiskey was awarded Craft Producer of the Year by Whiskey Magazine? It's true. We spent years perfecting our uniquely crafted, award-winning style of bourbon we call Tennessee high malt, with notes of butterscotch, toasted honey, and chocolate-covered cherries. And since the fall is finally here, so is bourbon season. Celebrate with a bourbon that is truly the world's best in craft. Drink Chattanooga Whiskey, enjoy responsibly.
Looking for quality equipment and a name you can trust? Lepo Rents, Bobcat of Jacksonville, is your premier construction equipment dealer and rental house. We have the right equipment for the job, offering the big and small tools needed for your next project. Lepo sells and rents track loaders, excavators, boom lifts, and much more. For your next project, remember Lepo Rents, your authorized Bobcat dealer in Jacksonville. Visit them online at leporents.com. Atlantic Self-Storage, the official storage partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Need to make room to watch football in your home or need a place to park your boat or RV? Store it all at Atlantic Self-Storage. Over 50 locations in Northeast Florida. 24-hour access, all with month-to-month leases. Moving? They can help with supplies. They make storage easy. Go to AtlanticSelfStorage.com or call 877-WE-STORE to find a storage solution near you. Go Jags!
Ackerman Urology offers the most advanced options for improving men's health and vitality. Their board-certified urologists treat all prostate disease and sexual health issues. Call their new location at World Golf Village or visit AckermanUrology.com.
I'm Taylor Dahl on your Gator Station. 1010XL is your pipeline to Gator Nation. Listen for the Gator Report all year round.
Brought to you by Darley's Plumbing, where quality counts. On the home of the Florida Gators, 1010XL.
Go Gators!
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
The Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Friday Night Lights.
Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning on 1010XL.
Under the Friday Night Lights, 1010XL, 92.5 FM as we put a wrap on this week, Week 10. Week 10. Hard to believe here of the high school football season. Every week here on 1010XL, we do give you a Gatorade Player of the Week, and let's do that right now.
Time now for the Gatorade Player of the Week. Gatorade, the world's #1 sports drink and the proven fuel of high school athletes. Nothing beats Gatorade. Find it at your local Winn-Dixie.
Gibby, there were obviously a lot of great performances tonight, but one stood out more than others.
Naeem Burrows, the Bulls wide receiver, over 200 yards receiving, caught an 80-yard bomb in the ball game tonight against Bishop Kenny, made it 31-18 with 10 minutes, 50 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. Naeem Burrows, all the big schools are on this guy, the wide receiver out of Bulls, a 4-star by 24/7 Sports. He's got offers from Alabama, Auburn, Florida, you name it. They've probably offered this kid. He's a stud, over 200 yards and a big touchdown tonight for Bulls.
Yeah, Naeem Burrows, your Gatorade Player of the Week. All right, Bulls is a district champion. First Coast is a district champion. Reigns, with their win tonight, a district champion. Likewise, Mandarin as well. We handed out a lot of district championships tonight. When you start looking at the playoffs, again, a week from Sunday, the pairings will come out. A couple of things stick out. And I go to that region first with Bradford, right? It's interesting that I think you rather be the 6 or 7 seed in that region than the 4 or 5 seed. So your Baker County, your Yulee, your Baldwin, teams of that sort, you're basically trying to avoid Bradford County as long as possible. And in this particular scenario, it's almost better to be the 7 seed, Gibby, than it would be the 4 seed.
Yeah, I mean, you're trying to avoid Bradford as long as you can. And look, I mean, you know, Bradford at some point you're going to have to play them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's inevitable. They're probably not going to lose if they do. This is a state championship caliber type of team. We'll see who they'll play moving forward in the playoffs. But like you said, you want to delay that matchup as long as you can. But eventually, if you win enough games, you're going to have to play them.
Who's their biggest competition, Baker, Baldwin, or Yulee?
Probably Yulee, right? Because they got,
Baker played him to a 14-0 game opening night. That was
did.
a long time ago. Baldwin had very little success against them, and Bradford hasn't played Yulee.
No, they haven't played Yulee. Yulee's got a pretty good quarterback there. Nico Smith won a state championship in Georgia last year. So I would probably say Yulee.
The other interesting region is the one that involves Riverside, Rains, Ed White, Bowles, Bishop Kenny, Episcopal, ton of local schools in that region. Rains looks like they're going to have home field pretty much throughout, so somebody's going to have to go to the graveyard and knock them off. Bowles is guaranteed of at least one home game by winning a district title. Riverside is guaranteed at least one home game by winning a district title. And I got to tell you, if it's Bowles Riverside in week 2 or Bowles Rains in week 2, man, what a game that would be.
Yeah, you were just reeling off those local teams in that district. Riverside is a team that I just think is dangerous. Riverside 7-2. They're a team that's gone 4-0 on the road. That the game they played against Rains came down. Was that the Hail Mary game, or was that one? I think it was the one where they won. Yeah. Rains won on the last.
Rains won on the last play of the game.
Yes, they won on the last play of the game back on the 29th of September. Man, those two. You think about that one. That would have been a playoff matchup in that game, but. Riverside and Rains too, but Riverside is one I would really watch.
That's one of those regions where, again, some people always debate how much home field in high school means. I think it means something in that region. Playing a game at Rains or at Riverside compared to playing a game at, Bishop Kenny, at Bowles, at Ed White, there's a home field advantage with the graveyard at Rains or the backyard at Riverside or San Jose Boulevard with Bowles. So I think the home teams in that region are going to be the big favorites there.
Well, and we talked about this earlier tonight. Rains has gone undefeated. They went undefeated in the regular season at home, 5-0, a perfect 5-0. The only team they've lost to came outside of Jacksonville, Daytona Beach Mainland. So Rains is 8-1. There's some really good home field advantages, but the graveyard is a really tough place to win.
Final thoughts. We got about 2 minutes here. To me, the big winner tonight is probably Mandarin winning that district by beating Sandalwood. Again, in Mandarin's region, because they're metro, that means Orlando and Tampa in the first round. They now get one of those teams, likely Apopka, to come up here. It is vital for Mandarin to not have to travel to Orlando 3 or 4 times, and they've avoided that at least in round 1 by winning the district tonight.
Yeah, people wonder if you don't really know about it. If you win a district, you're guaranteed a home playoff game. And so these schools that won it tonight, they get to play the first round at home, and that's huge. Anytime you get a first-round playoff game at home, that's big. And we talk about these places where you want to play and you've got a home field advantage. Mandarin's case, you don't want to have to go to Tampa. You don't want to have to go to Orlando. So that first round being on Greenland Road, as Coach said earlier tonight, is vital for them.
And you say basically the same thing with First Coast now. First Coast is in by their win over Fletcher in overtime as a district champion. They're going to get one of the Tampa teams to come up here, whereas Fletcher now, by losing the game tonight, is likely going to have to go to Tampa in round 1, which is certainly something you do not want to do.
Yeah, that's always tough. I think, wasn't it last year? Was last year the first year for the Metro?
First year Metro Suburban, yeah.
And I think Fletcher had to play a Tampa team last year.
Yeah, Tampa Bay Tech came up here and beat Fletcher in round 1.
That's right. Now it's the other way around. They have to go down south.
Yeah, and you have to take a 4-hour bus ride for round 1 of the state playoffs. That is not a good situation. Well, that'll just about wrap it up. It has been a very, very busy Thursday night here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Gibby, I enjoyed it. Go get some rest.
Yeah.
You're right back here for the drill at 6 a.m.
That's right. We'll be ready to go. It's a Friday for Florida, Georgia. Jags, Steelers. Looking forward to it.
Gibby's going to go take a nap. He'll be back with you in about 6 hours. Casey Dobson filling in for Dylan Denmark tonight. Casey, great job. I'm the hacker, Ryan Green. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has brought you the Friday Night Lights. We are presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic Service, and Air Conditioning. I will talk to you tomorrow night at 8 o'clock on Hacker After Dark. Until then, have an absolutely terrific evening, Jacksonville.
If you think you know football,
I know the teams.
Pick the games.
I know these players.
It's 1010XL's weekly pick'em contest, brought to you by J. David Tax Law and MyBookie. You could win a barbecue feast from ABBQ.